It's 1 minute now past the top of the hour. Thanks so very much for joining us. This is Insight on Business. My name is Michael Libby, and we get to visit with you about advertising, marketing, consumer trends, best business practices each and every Monday at 8:45, bright and early in the morning. We are broadcasting from our studios downtown Des Moines, and you're more than welcome to join us. If you've got a comment or a question, feel free to do that. We do monitor Twitter throughout the show. That's at insightatv, that Insight, INSIGHT, ADV, for our advertising agency, Insight Advertising. Bike People. What in the world is Bike People? Well, it's a brand new show that debuted last week on Iowa Public Television, and we're going to share with you a little bit of what this show is about. My friend Forrest Ridgway, who owns Bike World, thought it would be a great idea to have people across Iowa and even outside of Iowa learn the fantastic sport of bicycling. Now, to be sure, he owns Bike World in Ames and West Des Moines and Urbandale, but I think this is more than that. This is a love that he has really grown up with all of his life, and he's giving an opportunity not only to learn a little bit more about bicycling, but also see the culture of bicycling. We've got a clip from the first show we want to show you. This appeared on Iowa Public Television. It's a quick 2-minute piece that features Forrest and his co-host, Suzette. Ryan, can we go ahead and roll that?
My name is Forrest. I got my first bike at age 3, my next bike at age 7. I've ridden in Europe, Australia, and all across our great nation.
My name is Suzette. I'm a mom, TV personality, and bike lover. I've known Forrest for years, from interviews, rides, and bike events.
Things up for rag riding. I'm in the bicycle business and a cycling enthusiast. I've been collecting, fixing, and selling bikes my whole life.
We love bikes and all the people, stories, and adventures around them.
We're on a journey to show you the world through 2 wheels.
To help you become
Bike People.
Sharing this with you. First of all, we think it's kind of cool. My bride happens to be the president of the Des Moines Bicycle Club, and I think there are 400 or 500 members to that, and pretty active in the bicycle world. Forrest is a good friend, and we hope that the folks like it. So what did we think about this? Well, these kinds of things cost a lot of money to do. And Forrest shared some of the numbers with me privately, and I can't share them with you, but these are not cheap things to do, even though most of the first 3 or 4 episodes were shot in and around the Des Moines area. It tries to give you a flavor of what goes on in the world of bicycling. And we think it's a great way to not only push a sport, but also products. And of course, everything is advertising. You know, a lot of people say, well, you know, this is a public service. Well, it sort of is. It's also advertising for Forrest and Bike World. If you took a look at Forrest's logo, you'd see that Bike World and Bike People look strangely familiar. Some thoughts on what we saw. We did watch, I believe, 3 episodes of this last weekend, and clearly it's not a big budget manufacturing project. I mean, this is not tons and tons of people on all kinds of locations all over the country. It's pretty much local. It was all shot by a crew, by the way, out of Indianola, I believe. The 3 samples that we watched were all shot in and around the Des Moines metro. It was interesting at one point, Brian Duffy, who was a former cartoonist for our friends over at the Des Moines Register and an avid bicyclist, was also part of the show. So they're trying to bring in lots of different people to be able to expand their reach to large numbers of people. What we thought might help the show a little bit is sharing some of the things about bicycling. You know, what bike is good for what purpose? I don't know. You know, we have bicycles at our house, several of them, and this bike does not work in this condition. This bike is for this type of road. This bike is for trails. This bike is for off-road. You know, it just goes on and on. That would be kind of interesting. Also, the new technology that bicycles are having. You know, if you haven't seen one of the new high-end bicycles for some time, I encourage you to go to your local bike shop and just ask about the technology. Anymore, you don't even have to shift. These are all electronic censored pieces, and the weight of the bikes is incredibly light. The lighter the bike, the less fatigue on the rider. It's a fascinating sport and full of all kinds of technology, and we think if they incorporated some of those aspects into Bike People, it would really be a hit. Or at least I know some of us guys that hang around go, I wonder how all this works. Would certainly find that interesting. Bike People, kids. You're going to be able to see that on Iowa Public Television. We know there's going to be a lot of talk about trails and people and pie and RAGBRAI and all those things. But what a great way to expose people to the world of bicycling. I know that they have at least 13 episodes set to roll. You'll be able to see it. Check your listings for Iowa Public Television. I know it was part of the festival kickoff last weekend, and it's going to be kind of cool. By the way, they do have a YouTube channel. You can see them all there as well, or at least clips of those things. It is Bike People on YouTube. That's Bike People on YouTube. We've got 8 minutes now past the hour. When we come back, we're going to be talking about dish crawl. What in the world is dish crawl? Why is it coming to Des Moines? Who's in charge of this thing, and why would you care? Mandy and Chris are in studio, and we're going to be talking about the backstory of dish crawl, where it came from, who's involved, and what goodies you can expect when that kicks off yet this week. This is Insight on Business. My name is Michael Libby. We'll be back right after this.